Good morning. Welcome to another vlog episode. I don't know which one we're on, but today let's get into what we're doing today. First of all, I'm rocking the glasses today. Gave my eyes a little break. I just ordered my breakfast. It's nothing fancy, let's be honest. It's McDonald's. Yeah, I just got that really quick so that I can get right into my work day, which today, let us see what we have on the docket for today. And I'm gonna do what I did yesterday and put the camera over here, I think. Yes, y'all, you don't stop. Okay, today, what do we have on the plan for today? We're getting caught up in those videos for the client that we are doing today for sure, and as well, but I know that's going well. We have some progress on that. We definitely have some progress on that. Let me see where everything is at. Yes, so we have more and more that are getting scheduled. We have another one that is supposed to be going live tomorrow, and yes, one that is supposed to be going live tomorrow for one of our clients, and we have it scheduled. We just need to put a thumbnail in there, so I'm just letting my admin assistant know how we're going to create a thumbnail. One thing I do kind of want to talk about really quick, the importance of being able to be resourceful, right? And this is whether you are running your own business. It's extremely important if you're running your own business, but even if you're working with someone who is an entrepreneur or someone who's running their own thing, or even if you're just doing a regular day job, I can't tell you how I gotta put other stuff in here to get rid of the echo. I can't express the importance, or I can't stress enough the importance of being able to be resourceful. And when I say resourceful, meaning like if you know that you need to do this one particular thing in order to get the job done, but you don't have that one particular thing, I encourage you to try to either find the thing if it's not, the regular spot that it's supposed to be in, or if you might have to kind of make a makeshift one that looks very similar to the thing that you need or works very similarly to the thing that you need, especially too if you're having to check in with somebody or get somebody else's approval for it. And it's funny, I was speaking to one of my good friends, Afsha. Shout out to her. She's been on the podcast before. We were talking about like when people come to you with a question, but have not made an outside of the box type of effort to come up with a solution. It may not be the right solution, and that's totally fine. But I think it's really important to come with a solution, even if it ends up not being chosen or it ends up being not a great one or whatever, but something to show that you arrived at an obstacle and you had enough within you to be like, well, I don't quite have the answer to this, but what can I do to maybe find the answer? Or what can I do to try to address the issue or the problem? And I've actually even dealt with this. I'm gonna change up this scene. I've even dealt with this too in when I worked in corporate, when I had my day job. And one of the things that I remember from all the managers' meetings that they used to have was, don't bring a problem to the manager's meeting if you don't have a solution. It was a very simple rule. You are not allowed, I mean, within reason, obviously. If there's like a fire and you don't have a solution, you don't need to have a solution for a fire. Those solutions are already there. But don't bring something to the meeting unless you have at least some semblance of a plan or a solution on how to address it. It may not be the idea that gets chosen, but you bringing up the idea might help somebody else to think of the rest of the way, or how to make that idea better or more improved or significant or whatever it is. So all this to say, I think it's really important, especially when you're dealing with other people, to do your best to come up with solutions. It's really important, because I think not only, like, if you're dealing with somebody who is either your superior or who needs to give their approval, right? You're gonna show to them like, hey, like I've made an effort here. You know what I mean? I've made some kind of effort to be able to solve this problem that we have, as opposed to, I need you to solve this problem for me. Versus, there's an issue that we have currently and I'm trying to address it, but I'm struggling a little bit. Are you able to help me? Are you able to help me address this problem? Because I trust your problem solving abilities and I've reached my limit. And now I'm coming to you to be able to help me, as opposed to, can you do it for me? Can you solve the problem for me? I think it's extremely valuable when you're dealing with people who need to give their approval on something, but also I think it's just a good thing to have, even just for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, to have a thing where, like, if you're running your own business, you'd be amazed the amount of makeshift solutions you can come up with when you're just willing to try stuff out. You know what I mean? When you're just willing to try something and then see what happens, then you'd be amazed what you can come up with. It's actually crazy. That's lighting looks weird. Yeah, no, it's pretty wild. I'm gonna put this here. Okay, we don't gotta worry about the boxes. But I think, honestly, truthfully, being resourceful is so important. And I'm not gonna lie, there's times where I've said to people, don't be a moocher. You know what I mean? Like, actually, I'm thinking this as I go along here, but there's times where I've said, like, be a self-starter. You know what I mean? But there is also the sense of, you could say, being resourceful is using the resources that are at your disposal, right? I'm just a big proponent of use the resources, because scattered thoughts. Some people, I think, they will see being resourceful as utilizing the resources they have within their reach first, or within their network, I guess, versus the resources that they themselves already have or can do independently. So I pose the question to you. When you think of being resourceful, let's assume that everybody agrees that being resourceful is a good skill to have, or an asset to you, whatever. Assuming that, do you view being resourceful as, for example, if you need to get to point A to point B, and you know someone has a way of getting you from point A to point B, you might be able to get yourself from point A to point B, but you know that other person has the capability of getting you from point A to point B? Do you go to that person first, and that's you being resourceful, utilizing the resources that you potentially have access to? Or do you be resourceful in the sense of, okay, how can I get myself from point A to point B? The keyword, getting myself there, and figuring out a way, okay, well, I could do this to get from point A to point B. Or is utilizing that other person's resources, is that a way? Different schools of thought, I guess. But I think utilizing your own problem-solving abilities to be able to figure something out, you know what I mean? Like just figuring it out. I think that will be helpful. Anyway, this has been a bit of a longer rant than I originally planned. I was supposed to tell you guys about my day. You guys, I have a weird opinion about you guys. But anyway, I was gonna tell you about my day. What else do we have planned today? I'm gonna be compiling the footage to send off to the editor who's gonna be working on the sales videos. And I wanna make sure that I keep those nice and short so we keep our outsourcing costs low, which is important. Now, of course, hopefully if these videos are good and they convert, then they're gonna pay for themselves very quickly, because they're not expensive. I'm making it sound like it's a lot of money. They're really not expensive. But the thing is, I'm noticing as I'm scaling the business now, I'm in a new space. I have new assets, i.e. like, that sounds weird, but like team members, right? Those are expenses, right? Obviously they're people. I don't acquire the people. That's crazy. But their work, right? Their time, right? I am compensating people for their time and for their experience and for their expertise and yada, yada, yada. So these are all expenses for the business. Now, in order to be profitable and to be able to continue to operate this business, there needs to be revenue generated to offset those expenses. So then that way we can continue doing what we're doing and we can all continue eating. So that's again, infancy stages, right? Infancy stages. But we're right now, I'm just really trying to fine tune the system of going from client request to delivery. In this particular case with the one client we're focusing on right now, it's YouTube videos, right? Well, YouTube videos and podcast episodes, because we deliver their content through YouTube and through Anchor, which we'll publish to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all the podcasts. So right now we have a process that does get us from point A to point B. I just really want to tighten everything up so we can say with confidence and with assuredness. I'm gonna keep switching angles just to kind of keep things visually engaging. We have the process. We're just trying to get things tightened up so then that way I can say with confidence, hey, we will get your video uploaded, we will get your podcast episode uploaded in X amount of time, right? And with efficiency, with with thumbnails, titles, tags, descriptions, all these things, we are going to get that done for you. So right now, I'm really trying to tighten up the system so then that way, when it comes time to scale, let me just plug this in. When it comes time to like really scale, whether it's through ads and also through like traffic generated through content marketing like this, right? Everything is all serving some kind of purpose. I also just like making content, so that works. But I want to tighten up the system before I scale, because if I scale with the system a complete and total mess, then we're not helping anybody. But we are we're tightening up the system right now. So far, I'm feeling pretty good about how things are. I just want to tighten things up a little bit more. But this content, like these vlogs and then the podcast episode, which I'm gonna have to work on this week, this is gonna be the first way of that we're marketing everything. Because like I want to get the services up and off the ground first, because those are the things that are already like tried, tested, and true, right? I know I can acquire clients and I know I can deliver quality product. And then now that's been tested even with the subcontractors that we're dealing with, right? The editors, admin assistant, we know that we're capable of putting out things that people will pay for, which is good, right? But yeah, and then the next step is really gonna be like really growing. I feel like this makes me look short. Not a feeling I'm used to. This is really gonna push things forward. And then of course the course, which I'm going to try to wrap up. It's basically done. I just need to record an intro module, which I might even just do that in here, to be honest. Like I was waiting for one of my friends, my good friend Raf, to be able to help me film the intro and outro modules, but we're kind of at the mercy of each other's schedule, and he's traveling at the end of this week, so I don't think we'll be able to squeeze that in there. So again, going back to the resourcefulness point, I do have his help at my close disposal, but when that becomes tricky, right, i.e. he's traveling, his schedule is very busy, packed schedule kind of person, now it's on me to be able to figure out what I can do, like what I have at my immediate disposal, things that I already have, to be able to record that. Now, obviously I could record it with this, but I'm not going to do that. Only for the reason because I have a DSLR camera that I can use. I shot the rest of the course with that. I actually have, I don't know if y'all are interested, but I actually have a new, let me see if you can see it here, a new capture card here, which basically connects the camera. Hold on, this might be easier if I flip this. So what it is, so I have the capture card here, right? And that takes the signal from the camera, HDMI out. Oh, I'm still charging it, wow. I should probably unplug that, right? So converts the signal from HDMI out into the capture card, and then the capture card, well, I actually have it plugged into the monitor, but the monitor's connected to the computer. So it all connects through this cord here. Yeah, so that's how I have that set up currently. And I recorded the entire course using that setup. I actually recorded the whole course before I even had the capture card. I was actually using some back-end makeshift ways to be able to record or stream from the camera to the computer using OBS. So now hopefully this will be even better, that I can just record everything in OBS, or I might just record it normally. Who knows? I want to lower my barrier to entry, but also I want to create something of quality. So we'll see. But I also just want to get it done. Right now I'm trying to keep expenses all within the same kind of ballpark, but then scale the revenue so that we also scale the profit as well. So that's why it's important. It's important to be mindful of these expenses, because yeah, more revenue is great, but if the expenses are increasing disproportionately, like to the revenue, in the sense of like if our expenses go from $10 to $100, but our revenue only goes from $100 to $150, and we're not being more profitable. Yes, we're bringing in more revenue, but we're actually losing money. even though we're making more, we're losing how much we actually get to keep. So something to kind of bear in mind. I wonder if that's why people stay the size that they do, just because they can't find a way to scale and be profitable. They can only scale the revenue. Anyway, things to wonder. But yes, that is what's on the docket for today. I'm gonna be going out a little bit later, so I'm looking forward to that, meeting up with some people in the neighborhood, because like I mentioned, I am in a new neighborhood. I may also look into some printful stuff, or printful, not printable. Printful, got it. So we're gonna be doing that, or might be doing that. And oh, my admin assistant just sent me a thumbnail. Let me just quickly approve this, let her know this is good. The enter button does not work. Oh, I just realized John is getting a lot of these things. You know what, that's okay. Maybe I think it's good for him to, you know what, sometimes you want everybody to see everything, everybody be attached on everything. Sometimes that works out well, and then other times not so much. I think in this case, right now I really have two, I guess, team members, right, who are handling a lot of stuff. There's one other guy on Fiverr who I've been outsourcing some things to, but it's just been the STARTA content. Let me see. Oh, okay, so some of the background music we use seems to have a copyright claim on it. I'm gonna deal with this, figure out what we're gonna do. I will check back in with y'all later. All right, y'all, so update on what I was dealing with before the background music with the video. You know what, it's always good to just make multiple versions of things, I'm realizing. But being very agile is good, which is funny because we dealt with that in the company that I worked for before I left. That term, agile, and it was a term that brought up a lot of anxiety with people, not because of being agile in general, but what it meant. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But yes, luckily we were able to figure it out. We're probably gonna use the version with no background music, but also YouTube has an option where you can add background music to an uploaded video, which I actually knew and forgot about because I haven't used that feature, because I always just do it within my actual edit, just because of the way I like to manipulate audio. But yes, also, I just quickly wanted to say, because I was also speaking to Akshay about this. Man, we need to do another episode. Akshay, if you're watching, let's find time and just do another episode. If we can't do it in person, we got to do it virtually, because man, we share like really awesome ideas together. So we were speaking about knowing how to prioritize what you have going on, right? And how that relates to me at this particular moment in time. Oh yeah, so how it relates to me now is I realize I still have my breakfast that I haven't actually had yet, and I felt like I needed to not put out that fire, but find an answer or a solution to that background music issue, because that video has already been uploaded and scheduled, and I want my admin to be able to move on to the next one. So I felt like I needed to do that, but yet I also know I wanted to eat. Now, to me, of the two, the time-sensitive issue was the figuring that out, especially too because I now know that in general, my team members, because of the time zone that they're in, they're usually only available or responsive up until noon, right? Just because of the time difference, right? They usually are working between, well, my time, 7 p.m. until noon, right? 7 p.m. until noon, yeah. 7 p.m. until noon, that's usually when they're responsive and available. I typically am available from like 8:30 till, well, whenever I finish. It depends on the day, but basically the opposite, right? I'm basically, we're 12 hours apart. So anyway, so all this to say, I know I'm thinking about this in the sense of, okay, I have breakfast. I have breakfast to be able, that I want to eat. But also I need to put this fire out, and I could be like, I'll get to it when I get to it. I'm on my lunch break or my breakfast break, whatever. I want to eat. But also I know that it's 11 now. So an hour from now, I won't even be able to check in with my admin assistant to give her an update. I won't be able to double check with the video editor to say, hey, do we have different background music we can use, right? I may be able to get a hold of the client's team, because I also had to check with the client's team as well to see, hey, there was a copyright claim when we uploaded the video. Do you want us to, like, are you okay with the no background music? If you really do want the background music, we're gonna have to switch it if you want it monetized. So it's either we upload it with the same background music, no monetization. We upload it with no background music, you would have monetization. Or we upload it with new background music and we may or may not have monetization depending on what YouTube says. But I wanted to get a response as soon as possible. So usually what I try to do, especially too because how I've set up my business, I can usually be the most agile because there's usually not as much that I'm firsthand working on. Right now, there's only one client that I'm personally doing the actual editing of, right? And that's just because I'm offering that client a little bit more of a hands-on approach. I have the flexibility to be able to do that, and the project that I'm working on for that client, as well as my breakfast, are not time sensitive. Well, I have to eat eventually, but I'm saying I can re-warm up the food. This won't turn into a dumpster fire if I don't address it right now. Same thing with editing for the other client. I have the whole rest of today, or half of today actually, because I have plans later, but I have the bulk of today to be able to work on it. And also it's not due on a particular day just because me and that other client, we're actually we're racking up pieces of content to be able to schedule upload probably like a month at a time, right? Which I'm really, really excited for. Excited to see that momentum. The reason why I didn't wait to address the issue with the editor, admin assistant, and the client's team is because I know that my team is gonna be not available past noon, right? And I know once I start eating, then I get relaxed. I don't really want to do as much heavy lifting for a while. I'll put it on the back burner, it won't get addressed. So even though that issue wasn't as time sensitive because the video doesn't need to go live until tomorrow, but my admin assistant had already scheduled it. So she would have moved on to the next project. And I really want her to move on to the next project. So let me address this issue right now. We had an issue with the thumbnail. Well, not an issue, we needed to create a thumbnail, and then we had an issue with the upload with the copyright status. So we needed to address that. Anyway, but all this to bring back to what I was talking about with Upsha is you need to be able to prioritize when you have 10 different things you have to do. You have to know, okay, which am I going to attack first? You might attack like, okay, let me get the quick and easiest stuff done out of the way. But the bigger task, which technically would require more time and effort to do, but it might be more time sensitive or it might be more urgent based on whatever your priorities are, right? So you have to establish, okay, yes, I've got these 10 items. 5 of them are quick and easy to do, but they're not time sensitive. So let me do the 5 heavier tasks first because those are either time sensitive or they're urgent for some other reason. You have to be able to kind of do that either on the fly or build that into your task list, your project management platform, whatever it is. Just different things to think about, you know what I mean? So that's a lesson I kind of wanted to share. I'm realizing now that this vlog is going to be significantly longer than all the other ones that I've done because I probably am dealing already with 20 plus minutes of footage now, but that's fine. I think I'm going to be the one editing these, but I think that's going to be it for the majority of the day. I'm going to see if I can do all of my vlogging and stuff in the daytime so then I don't have to think about it in the evening. And also I can just spend the rest of like my afternoon just doing editing, right? And editing doesn't take as much brain power for me at this stage, you know, luckily. But yeah, I'm gonna go eat, and then I'm gonna work on that other client's video that I personally am gonna be editing. And then I think my team is gonna be logging off within the next hour. So make sure that they're all set and they're good to go. And yeah, and then I'm gonna be going out later, but that should probably be it for this particular vlog. If anything, I'll cut to here and say, okay, and that's it for the rest of today's vlog. Hope this was, I don't know, entertaining or valuable or useful, or just maybe you're just bored and wanted something to watch. So I'm gonna go do that. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. You won't be well, you might be listening in the background, but I'm not gonna do this as podcast episodes because they're not structured that way. But yeah, I'll see you on the next one.